Hey guys, just have a glance to this problem statement. It is one of the most top interview problem based on dynamic programming, frequently asked in MNCs. So let's glance to the problem statement first. The statement states that reshape. Oh no, you have accidentally removed all space, punctuations and capitalizations in a lengthy document. Okay, a sentence like I reset the computer, it still didn't boot because okay. So we have to take the string without any punctuations, means without any space, without any punctuations from the user input. That's fine. Next, what we need to deal, we need to deal with punctuations and capitalizations later. Okay, that's fine. Right now we need to reinsert the space. Most of the words are in a dictionary, but a few are not. Given a dictionary, a list of strings, and the document a string. Okay, so it is fine that it is clear that we have to take the user input string without any punctuation and without any space between them, and we need to create a dictionary of word which will contain the valid words of the given input string. Next, what we need to design, we need to design an algorithm to unconcatenate the document in a way that minimize the number of unrecognized character. Okay, we have to design unconcatenation of the document in such a way that it might be minimized the number of unrecognized character. Means I'm clearing by that we're gonna use the technique of memorizations and the overlapping recursion and relational problems. Okay, don't be fear, I will just clear it. Don't be fear, it is very easy topic. I will just explain it in by breaking it each and tokenization, so no need to be fear at all. So the problem statement I just gonna clear is that we're gonna take an input of a string without any punctuation and without any space in lowercase obviously. Then what we need to do, we have to insert space. We have to insert the space within a valid place. Means we need to insert the space in the valid position, not that we can insert the space in the random position. No, we need to insert the space in the valid position of the word, and the word must be recognized. That we need to create a separate dictionary which will contain the valid number of words, and the number of words which are not being valid, then they must be recognized in the separated way. So in this topic, we're gonna use the topic of memoization technique, which will create the memoization form and the recursive call. So it will map to the dictionary and it will just calculate the number of unrecognized unconcatenate words. So let's move ahead without many much delay to my code editor. So just have a look to it. I will solve it in very easy and very normalized way. And at last there is a bonus point. I will also visualize each and every code in very easy steps. So let's stay tuned with me. So let's create the Python file name as respace.py file. So at first we have to, what we have to do, we have to input the string, that sentence without any punctuation, as same as it is in the question. As it is in the question that there is no punctuation in between the in the sentence and no spaces, we have to input this string in the same way only. So let's input it. I'm writing it in a variable, that is in input string str equals to, as it is in the same without any punctuation. So what the sentence is, Jess looked just like Tim, her brother. Fine. Just look just like Tim, her brother. This is the sentence without any punctuation and without any space. Next, what we have to do, we have to create a dictionary of valid word. Means, as you can see in this sentence, there are not every word is valid, because Jess and Tim is not a valid word. It is a type of noun. It is the name of the person, so it cannot be recognized as a valid word. So what are the valid word? The valid word may be looked, just, liked, her brother. This is a type of valid word. So let's create a dictionary, that is DIC, of valid word. Valid word equals to, the first valid word is, we're gonna write within quotation, that is first valid word is looked, right? Our second valid word is just. Our third valid word is like. Our fourth valid word is her. And last but not the least, the valid word is brother. Fine. So we have taken the sentence input, that is without any punctuation and without any space. Next, we created a dictionary which will contain the valid word. That's fine. So next, we're gonna look what we have to design. As we look to the question, we have to design an algorithm to unconcatenate the document in a way that minimize the number of unrecognized character, and the output must be, it will return the string with valid space within the valid word, and it will recognize how many characters are there which is not recognized within the valid dictionary. Means we have to design an algorithm which will recognize that how many word is valid and how many word is not valid and not contained within this dictionary. Means, as you can see the string, that is Jesh and the Tim, this two word is not valid. Okay, so we have to return the numerical value, that how many characters are there which do not contain in this valid dictionary. So we have to design that algorithm. So let's design it. So at first we're going to create the very first function. The function, what we're going to name our function, we're going to name our function as respace. This is our function name, and what we're going to pass, we're going to pass the first parameter as our input string, and the second is our dictionary word which contain the valid word. Fine. So now what we're gonna do, we're gonna calculate the length of the string, because without calculating the length of the string or the sentence, we cannot proceed to any of the computation part, right? Because it is the operation of string. So at first, the very first working of our is to calculate the string length. So let's calculate the length of a string. Length I'm taking as variable n, that is length of input string, that is it is the length of input string. Fine. So now what we're gonna do, we're gonna use the memoization technique. So I'm writing the code block, and how it works I will just demonstrate it. That is, let me write that dp equals to, I'm taking a variable dp which will start index from 0, and it will multiply it from n plus 1, right? So what is the working of this block? I'm writing it inside that it will find the minimum unrecognized characters till the index. Means it will find the how many characters are there which is not being unrecognized, starting from 0 index towards the end of the string, string. So it is clear that we are creating a variable with the name dp, and we are starting the value of index from 0, and we are checking that whether there is minimum number of unrecognized character till the end. So this is clear. So next what we're gonna do, we recognized our character. Next we're going to split it up, that we have to split it, that how many characters are there, we have to count. No, at last we have to count, and we have to return the numerical value. So for that we have to split it individually. So I'm writing a next variable split equals to, what we're going to split, we're going to split same as the numerical value, that is the starting from 0 index, multiply into n plus 1. Fine. Why we're taking n plus 1? Because we know that range in Python ends up to n. So for reaching to the end index, we have to explicitly mention the 1 incrementation, or else it will not go to the end, it will just stop towards n minus 1. So for moving towards the end, we have to just explicitly write in our program that is n plus 1. So fine, we find the minimum unrecognized character, we splitted the character. So I'm also writing in, commenting out that for better understanding, it split index of I. Okay, it split index of I equals to position where the best word break occurs. Means it will split up to the unrecognized character until it gets a valid word, or until it gets a valid character towards the best word break occurs. Position where the best word breaks occurs, until a valid character or valid word which are being mentioned in this dictionary comes or encounter, it will just split till that. That's fine. So let's move towards the next part. Now we have to for rechecking, we have to use the looping concept. For that I am using a for loop for I in range. Okay, I in range, the loop will start from 1 and it will go to n plus 1, as it is common in every program. So now what we will do in this loop, we will assume the first condition, that assume current character is unrecognized, that if we will work as an assumption of our first character that we can encounter an current character that is which is unrecognized. So for that what we need to do, we need to create the that memoization technique and the recurrence relation overlapping concept. That is, we're gonna use the dp of I index, which will approach the index of I, because we are as in the looping concept, so we have to start the indexing part from I, iterate it in form of I. So I equals to, what we'll do, dp of I minus 1 plus 1. So what it do, it assumes current character is unrecognized. Okay, it assumes that current character is unrecognized form, that it is an unrecognized character. It first assume. Then next what we have to do, as similar, we will recognize, we have find the minimum unrecognized till the index. Next what we have done, we have to split. Similarly we will do the same task in this looping concept also. We need to split it. So we will split the index of I. Okay, we will split the index of I till where I minus 1. Fine, it will split. Next we have to check the every possible substring. No, we have to check every possible substring, because we don't know that where the unrecognized character will occur and where the valid character will be encountered. So for that we have to use the brute forcing attack, or brute forcing approach, or every possible input and every possible combinations of substring. So for that we have to create another looping in nested loop, that is for j in range. So why we are using this loop, it is only for checking the every possible substring. And in this we gonna create a word variable, which what it will do, it will just slice the input string from I to j, that is I to j. Means it will check the every possible combination. Sorry, it is not from I to j, it will just reverse. It will follow from j to I. Why j to I? Because every possible combination, because as we have to return the value, because for returning the value we know that this will form a stack formation. So for that stack we know that stack uses LIFO or LIFO concept. So first in last out. So for that we have to approach it from backward side. So for j, it will just create the every possible inputs and it will return the value. Okay, so let's do next. What we have to check a condition that if the valid word, if the word is in, if the valid word is in, where we have to check that whether the word which we have encountered is lying within this valid dictionary or not. If it lie within the valid dictionary, then we will just return the substring that it is a valid substring and we will not count it. And if, or else, if the word or the character is not recognized, we will return the numerical value that it is not recognized and how many characters are there which are not being recognized or not being included in this dictionary sets. So let's write the code. If w in dictionary, that is in dictionary word. Okay, so again we have to check one condition that if dp of j, fine, let me write, then I will just discuss this code block. Okay, dp of I, next we gonna write dp of I equals to dp of j. We are just swapping the concept and we have to swap it from split of I equal to j, fine. This nested condition will check that if word exists in the dictionary or not. If word exists in the dictionary, it will generally swap the content with the other. So it is the working of this. So next, the last part we need to do, the last concept what we need to do, we're just writing it, that we need to take an empty dictionary or take an empty list. I'm taking an empty list, that is which will return the value within the space. No, in the question we have to just if we look to the output, we have to return the number of unorganized unrecognized character and the string and the sentence with space within the valid position, right? So for returning the sentence, we need to create a list, empty list equals to new empty list. I'm taking an empty list, fine. So now what we're gonna do, we're gonna check I equals to n. We're gonna assign this value I equals to n. So we will use a while loop, while I greater than 0, fine. What it will do, it will split j equals to split I, correct? It will split I and it will append the content, means we have to append the content that we will get toward to the empty list, that is n dot w, that is append. We will use the append function. What is the use of append function? Append function used to join or to add something at the end of the function, at the end of something. So it will append the input string from, it might contain a range from j to I in reverse order. So we will get this in j to I, and I equals to, we will assign the value I equals to j, right? I equals to j. So if we do this, we will get, if we run the code, we will see that we will get the output in reverse order. Okay, brother will come first, then her, like, just, look, because we have just sliced the reverse slicing, as we are using the reverse slicing technique, that it will append from reverse backward. So for but we don't need the backward string, we need from left to right, that is forward string. It will just print from just, look, space, just, like. So we need to reverse the string, because as it will if we write this in our output, it will just simply output in the reverse order, that is brother will come first, but we not need like that, we need to from left to right. So for that we're gonna reverse it. Okay, so what we do, we're gonna reverse nw.d dot reverse. We're gonna use the reverse function, fine, everything in our function, and we have to return the actual value, that is the absolute value. So we're gonna return the value of dp of n, fine, sorry, dp of n, and between them there must be a space. Okay, then we're gonna use the join function to join it, to join what, to join the new list. So here it will be comma. Okay, so it will join the new list, this one, new list word, that is new word list, fine. So our algorithm design is fully complete. Okay, so let's call the function. So at we will print the statement. So I'm printing the statement, print. What we're gonna print first, we're gonna print the original sentence. That is our original sentence is input string, that is input str, fine. Next, okay, we're gonna call the function, we're gonna just call the function in a variable. So for that I'm using a variable that is unrecognized comma. It will count the number of total unrecognized character, and next variable, it will encounter the space for the valid space for the valid word. It will insert the valid space for the valid word, and let recall our function, that is reset, and we will pass the parameter, that is our argument and parameter, that is input string, and next that is dictionary word, fine. We first printed our original string. Next we're gonna print the string, this okay, sentence after. Okay, we're gonna print this sentence after adding valid space. Okay, so here we're gonna pass this space, this variable, because we will only get the this part. No, for that we're gonna recognize this variable, that is space, space space. Fine. So now we're gonna print, the last step is to print the number of unrecognized characters are. So it will must be a numerical value. So we just write this variable here. Okay, fine. So our total algorithm coding part is designed. So let's run our code and see the output, whether it is coming correct or not. Bang, you can see the output. So our original string is without any punctuation, that is just look just like Tim, her brother, and sentence after adding valid space. You can see that the space is within the valid position. You can see that Jess look just like Tim, her brother, and the number of unrecognized character are 7. Why it is 7? Let's check it. Because Jess, you can check the Jess, the character. What is the what Jess consists of? It is consists of 4 character, that is 1 2 3 4 Jess, and Tim, 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 that is it consists of 3 characters. So 4 plus 3 equals to 7. Total unrecognized character is 7, and the space sentence after adding valid space is that this. So bang, this is our final outputs. So let's visualize. So guys, let's review that where the concept of dynamic programming is used throughout this code. So I'll just mention it where the dynamic programming concept is used. As we already mentioned that the first part is memoization technique. So from the code you can see the memoization technique is used here. That is dp of index 0 into n plus 1. What it does, it stores the array result of previously solved subproblem. Because we know that dynamic programming is all about storing the previous problem and using it for future use. No, for reducing the recalculation. So this is the part which it does the memoization concept. Meaning it minimizes unrecognized the total number of character in first index of the character, and it uses for the second time repeatedly, goes on. Second, the recurrence relation concept is used in this part, that is dp of index I equals to dp of I minus 1 plus 1. That is, it defines the relationship between subproblem, meaning that minimum unknown character till index I equal to minimum unknown till I minus 1 plus current unknown characters. I am telling about this part, that is, it uses the concept of recurrence relation in dynamic programming, in which it means that minimum unknown character till I, what it does equals to minimum unknown character till I minus 1 plus current unknown character, that is 1. Fine. Second recurrence case can be this type, this condition, that is, it gives the complete recurrence concept. That is, we compare the word, that is whether it is contained in the valid dictionary or not, whether the valid word is contained in this valid dictionary or not. So obviously it uses the concept of recurrence relation formula, and it breaks down it into subproblem, and at last it joins it. The memoization is used in dynamic programming array to store the previous computed result as mentioned here, and the recurrence relation is defined in the valid dictionary word format. So that's how it works, the whole concept of dynamic programming. It is very easy. No need to be fair, it is very easy. I have already discussed, I have break down each and every tokenization. So as promised earlier, I will just visualize the code at the end. I just told at the first of the beginning of the video that I will just show a visualization of working of each and every block of this code. So let's move towards the visualization parts.